So one thing I was looking up, right? You know, a recent study found that 37% of married mothers actually make more than their husbands, right? But then when they get divorced, guess how many men receive alimony? What percentage of men receive alimony?
10.
3.
3%, baby.
Is it because the
3%.
kids go with the mother?
No, alimony. We're not talking about child support. Alimony. Women get alimony even if they don't even have children. Even if they're the breadwinner, which they say they are 37% of the time, only 3% of men receive alimony. So when we start throwing out random stats, let's make sure we know what we're talking about so we don't be looking crazy out here.
Can I I think stats have to be put in context in order to really like be valid, right? So
Thank you, Angela.
I had looked up this stat or whatever at the beginning of the topic about, you know, alimony and what percentage goes to who. And this it came up, I don't know how if I'm butchering the name, Petarelli is basically a law school. It says according to the survey, 56% of American divorce lawyers have seen more women paying child support during the last 3 years, and 47% have seen an increase in numbers of women paying. So you got to put things in context with all of that.
That's not.
I mean, that's all I'm saying.
But that's just the last 3 years, though. So in the last 3 years,
that's a
All
survey.
those stats.
No, that's a survey which can be hand selected from a specific group of clients. That isn't all of the marriages.
Not only that,
actually, no, wait, no. Let's not even do that, Marcus. Let's not even do that, Marcus.
Now we're about to discredit the stats.
No, it ain't even that. Let's
Make it
assume
make
that
sense.
let's assume that her stat is absolutely correct, right? It's still only it talks about the last 3 years. And I want to ask you this question, Angela. What have you noticed that has been transpiring at least over the last 5 years?
I'm not debating who's right or wrong.
No. I'm not asking that. I'm not asking that at all. I'm just asking you from your own observation of online activity, the world. What have you been noticing that has been transpiring over the last 5 years?
Noticed a lot, so you have to be a little bit more specific. But
I just like, have you noticed that men have been speaking up more?
I think men should speak up more. I think that there's room for improvement on both sides. And what I pretty much wanted to say on like this whole topic of boycotting marriage, I think that there's enough segregation in the Black community. And it is very combative when it comes to the men and the women. We're always trying to compete on whose problems are worse than the other group's problems. And I think that we need to shift perspective in terms of understanding what we have in common and the strengths in coming together and having partnership and having relationships.
Angela, to be fair, that wasn't the question that I asked. I just asked, have you noticed that men have been speaking up more?
And what I'm saying is, I said, I do think that men should have a ground to speak.
No, I'm asking, have you noticed that we have been, not whether we should or not? Have we?
I don't know. I can't answer.
Okay. That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, I understand that. So basically, to kind of help you understand,
I don't need to help me understand, but you can go ahead.
Well, to help the world understand, the reason why that stat, if we assume that it's true, the reason why that stat exists is because men have been speaking up more. Men have been changing different laws and fighting for several rights that grant men the right to their children. You know what I mean? And we're also noticing that men are getting into situations that may be more fair to them. So that if you're noticing a trend and an uptick in men getting custody of their children lately and men getting alimony lately, is because men are actually putting themselves in a situation where it's not as just solely beneficial to the woman. And that's just because of the slow changing of the laws. That's why.
And thank you for making that point, Sweeney, because that's what we was trying to say before you got on the phone. That was the point, is that it's been trending that women are paying more because men are speaking up more, men are complaining more. So maybe it can answer Trev's question that there are some things changing because men are getting alimony more.
Can I say something to Trev?
Trev, I apologize. I did not mean to assassinate your character. And Sweetie was right. I should be pro my point against instead of saying what you said, because I just thought it was egregious to boycott. So now I agree. Men should boycott marriage. That's exactly what they should do. But also, when the men do that, I think the women should boycott sex. And then we can have it even, Steven. And it'll be all right. And everything will fix itself. No. We should boycott sex. Let the men boycott marriage, and we can boycott sex, and we can all be boycotting together. Fight the power.
Big ass boycott party. Hey,
it's crazy how disingenuous conversations get when it's not making sense.
I'm dead serious.
One thing that I do want to say, Angela, with that stat, you got to remember they said 50. What was it? 56. What was it?
56% of lawyers have seen a change.
Right.
It could have been a 1% change, a 2% change.
Right. Exactly. Hold on. Say it again now. 56% of lawyers have reported seeing a trend where some women are paying more, right?
Yeah,
That's still, it does not change the fact that 97% of alimony is paid out by men.
And
plain and simple.
That's right.
Hold on, Angela.
I'm not
Angela, hold on. Give me a second. Listen, when I'm talking to you, I'm talking about to the panel, because other things were said that were completely incorrect before you hopped in. So I'm actually speaking to that. You feel me? So when we start just yelling out things like I said, let's make sure we know what we're talking about and do some research. You know what I'm saying? Because you make yourself look crazy when you're wrong. That's all.
Okay. So I just want to ask the ladies a question real quick. So if you agree with alimony, right? What service do you think that women should continue to provide post-divorce, if any?
What do you mean service? I don't understand that.
Well, the man has to continue to provide alimony, right? Post-marriage. So what I'm saying is, what services, if any, do you feel like a woman should continue to provide post-divorce?
What services are men providing post-divorce?
Alimony. So what I'm saying is,
that's a service. Got it. I didn't know alimony was a service. Okay. So we're talking about what financially that a woman can provide the man after divorce.
No, let's
outside of
well,
alimony.
It's not going to be.
Trying to make
Well, if men are providing the finances, then the woman, it cancels out. Women can't provide finances too. So what I'm saying is, what services should women provide post-marriage? So the man's good too.
Wouldn't that be a question that a man can answer? Wouldn't the man tell what services are y'all looking for from a woman after marriage? I think that would be more sufficient to ask that question.
After marriage, I would love for my woman to continue to clean my house, wash my clothes, and cook my dinner after we get a divorce. I would love and some sex on the regular shit.
So what you gonna provide after you get reparations?
So wait, women, y'all got crickets for me? Y'all, so y'all have nothing. You don't think you should do anything?
What I'm saying, isn't alimony?
No one said that. You're asking what service to provide.
Ask the question, and I got crickets. See, you're answering a question with a question.
What service is that? What do you want the woman to say? Don't you know what you would? Wouldn't you want to know?
Well, Sweeney just said it. So which one of those? Sweeney just said it. He just articulated that perfectly.
All right,
so what we're saying is, what do the ladies on the panel agree with from what Sweeney just said? Which services are sufficient? Which do you think you would be willing to do post marriage? Is what we're asking.
Yeah, that's a dumb question.
Okay. Now you understand how ridiculous alimony sounds.
I don't argue with stupid. That's a stupid question. You can ask the guy, but
hold on. So look, right. So one thing that's funny.
Oh Lord, here we go.
Is what if yes, oh Lord, yes, you call on them, please do.
Yes,
so look, right.
Oh Jesus.
One thing
is that Dr. Omar?
That we need to do.
Because he showed what if
the court actually made them say they had to pay it? They're gonna pay in that ass. You know what I'm saying? X amount of times a month in the divorce. Since you got to still provide provisions once you divorce, right? Why don't you have to provide wifely duties? If I have to take care of you after you're no longer my wife, why don't you have to still take care of me? That was the point he was making. So what what services do you think would be adequate to provide, since we have to continuously pay as if you were still my wife? I have to still make sure you're good, still take care of your bills and all that. So that was the question.
I got a question. But
Maybe you should bring that up to the politics, to the council in your state.
Taking care of the kids.
That's what
after divorce.
But that's the thing though. Child support covers that. We're talking about just alimony is strictly about you.
Child support does not cover the service for raising a kid.
No,
that's what's wrong.
That's not what I said.
Hey, let's do a cutoff counter.
Child support is only about the kid. Alimony is only about the other person. My alimony has nothing to do with the children. It has nothing to do. Those are actually two separate things. So what
alimony with no kids.
Basically, what they're saying is
alimony with no children.
If you're in a marriage with a woman and you are the only person that has been providing her income for the past 10 years, then once you divorce her, in certain states, you have to provide her a certain income for the rest of her life. For example, for example, in Florida, in California, and it used to be in Florida, where they had lifetime alimony, right? So if you provide her income for the only income that she ever had throughout your marriage for the last 10 years, you have to provide her income for the rest of her life.
What?
So, for example, for a man, what if you were the only person that was cleaning his house for the last 10 years? He never knew how to clean up a house, couldn't clean up a house. You've been the only one cleaning his house the entire time. Do you believe that at the end of the marriage, you should continue to have to clean his house? Because he never learned how to clean a house. Only you know how to clean a house.
No, I had a question for the guys. So do you guys think that alimony is necessary at all for after you divorce in every situation? Is there ever a time? Is there ever a time limit?
Not in every situation, but say we had kids and you a stay-at-home mom and you've been at home for the last 10 years and your work history is null and void. I think you do need to get alimony. It should be so you could reasonably be able to get back on your feet. I don't think it should be no lifetime thing though. Like it probably take you like a year or two to maybe you might even need to go to school, so you can get in the flow of earning something. But to just say, all right, we divorce your ass out on the streets, especially if the man decided to divorce, that's kind of crazy, bro.
I would say
Marcus, you said a year or two. I don't think that most men would go crazy over that. That's reasonable because it gives you enough time to get on your feet. But when you're talking about 20 years, lifetime, it's absurd. For the rest of your life, half your pension, half your 401k, stop that. No, 2 years is reasonable, and I don't think most men would argue that.
Also, I would add that I don't think alimony should be paid in a no-fault situation. If you just decide to leave because you're either you were at fault for why your marriage fell apart, or you just don't feel like being there anymore, then you shouldn't say, okay, I'm leaving you, but I also still want you to pay for me. Now, if he did something to cause you to leave, he done cheated on you, was beating on you, or, you know what I mean, financially stressing the family out, but even if that's the case, then more than likely you won't be paying alimony anyway. But if those are the major worst parts of the Bible type deal, then I can understand you being paid alimony. But if you decide to leave because you're not happy because you want to start a new career and he's like, I kind of need you to still be at home, so y'all at odds on that particular topic. So you're like, well, I'd just rather get a divorce from you. Then no, I don't think you should be able to walk away with alimony because you're leaving the marriage. You're leaving the sanctity of your union for selfish reasons.
So I think that the reason why I asked the question is because instead of us arguing back and forth is the whole extreme cases of it. I think that I agree with the 2 years. I agree with all of these things that you guys are saying. I don't think that alimony is necessary for the rest of her life, but you have to make sure she's good. But that 2 years, what about if she didn't have a career at all? Like 2 years is not going to make up for 10 years at home. You see what I'm saying? So like, I think that if men would be like, you know what, let me be fair. Let me make sure she's good. Then that's okay. But we're not always dealing with those kind of men. We are dealing with the hard-headed, had to take you to court just to get a pair of sneakers for the kids. Had to, you know what I mean? So in those cases, but y'all will argue for every man.
Do you think that's most cases?
I'm not saying that. See, it's like we always trying to blame, but y'all not trying to see the specifics and what I'm trying to say. And that's why you would think that I'm just all on the woman's side. But I'm saying in the middle, there's a place. No extremes, just balance it out. Nobody really cares. We ain't living off of, it's not going to be a ton of money anyway. How much is alimony anyway? You can't live off of that. With all the bills that we have, it's just to help the woman. And remember, the woman is not built like you guys. You guys can work all day long and be fine. We work and we have health issues. If we work,
then stay in your marriage. Then stay in your marriage and work it out.
I tell them the same thing, but at the same time, if it's not working out, if y'all not supposed to be together, y'all still have to come to some kind of understanding.
Well, but that's the problem though, is just not working out can mean a number of things, but it comes at the cost of somebody in that marriage. He has to, if you just decide, well, it's just not working out, I want to do something different, then why should you be able to walk away? You're walking away from the marriage. Then why should you be able to walk away and still keep portions of the marriage where he still has to uphold his end of the deal as a man within your marriage, but you don't? Because when a woman walks away from a marriage, she cut ties completely. There is nothing she is obligated to do as a wife anymore.
But what does she lose in there? Because you guys got to go to work every day and build your career. Now you're making double the money and she's not.
So that's that's not always the case, Ruth, because some women are able to build their career just as much. And
I'm talking about the stay-at-home mom. That's why they are, they fighting for their life right now because they don't have anything. And do you think it's fair that the pension that the man is supposed to be saving for both of y'all if the woman's at home, and you talking about she can't have half the retirement? That was your retirement.
If a woman decides to leave a marriage for God knows what reason that ain't valid, she's supposed to lose everything that comes with the marriage. You're not supposed to walk away with anything.
But what if she's not? My point is, what if she's as a valid reason?
Then we can put
if then that. Right. If she did it for a good reason, then we can. Yeah. Then I agree with you. But y'all don't say nothing fair. Y'all just like she shouldn't get it at all, no matter what. Stay in your marriage.
That's not what anybody on this panel said.
Nobody said that.
Like he's saying, just like look at all the facts and factor everything on both sides and apply logic to it and not emotion. So if she, just like Marcus said, if she hasn't been working the whole entire time in the marriage, she probably need a couple years, maybe 2 or 3 years to get on her feet. I think most men would say that is fair, right? Mm-hmm. But to Sweeney's point, if a woman just decides to walk out, right, she's not happy, she's not excited about the marriage no more. Maybe she got married too early. Then is it fair for the man to have to pay alimony?
If the woman is at fault, that's why I don't like the no fault thing. Yeah, she shouldn't get alimony. She shouldn't get a lot of things.
Right. So
but at the same time, you also have to make provision, whether it works out or not. You got to make sure she got some portion. She got to be okay.
No,
because that's something y'all built together.
Fair. That's not fair.
Right, that's not fair to him to have to.
So he should keep all the money. That's what y'all saying.
If she leaves for no reason, yes.
You leave me, yes. Leave with whatever you walking out the door with.
So then why would women want to get married?
Because you're supposed to
stay
married.
Y'all trying to make it, y'all, it's like y'all trying to reverse the situation.
No,
the position that the women are in, y'all would prefer to be in that position. And that's why it doesn't seem fair.
If you walk away, if you quit your job, do you get a severance package? If you quit?
Yes.
I don't know. I didn't know.
Oh, wait,
no.
If you quit your job,
quit, not if you quit.
So. Mm-hmm.
But if you get fired from your job, depending on the reason, if it's a unfair
laid off.
Yeah. Laid off.
Well, technically, you can get a check if you quit. I've gotten 2 checks and quit 2 jobs, but that's a different situation.
But
for the most part,
that's an exception.
If you quit your job, do you get
one mic, y'all? One mic. They can't hear us. One mic.
Chanel, how does not you specifically, but how does somebody go? Because I heard you say you didn't have to pay the alimony. Hypothetically, how does somebody be able to not pay the alimony? Like, what's what happens?
Well, I've been waiting to say something. We're doing all this speculation, but at the end of the day, like between the couple, you have 90% control. Like the state law is there because you can't figure it out on your own. But if y'all two sit down and decide, okay, I'll give you $100 a month. I ain't giving you no $1,000 a month. If y'all both agree to that, that's exactly what your divorce would be. The vase will be closed on. The state is not going to say you still have to. If y'all both like, we don't need that, we don't want that, we got something else, go ahead. So some people don't have divorce, so they don't understand that. But we're talking about Like Ruth is talking about just the woman that was a housewife, you know, but it's kind of different because Ruth's talking about the housewife and what she deserves. I get that, but I get the whole part. If the woman just decides to leave, I can see why a man is like, well, you get nothing. But also you thinking like y'all been together for 30-something years, y'all done built this retirement together. So because we didn't work out, I don't get anything. But if y'all could discuss that, it still can be worked out. Like, you know, it's not like that this is, oh, the man has to do this. If y'all can come up with a conversation and come with an amicable divorce, it can definitely work in the man and woman's favor. But a lot of times in our community, it just don't go that way. We get angry, we get mad. My ex-husband, when I told him I wanted a divorce, he didn't believe me until I actually filed and served him. All of a sudden, he went from just being this guy that would do anything for me to like, I want to get her money, I want to get her shit. Like, and it was like, I wasn't ready. I was like, well, damn, like, that's how it is. And, you know, it changes. So
how did you get out of paying alimony?
Wait,
I got out of paying it because his lawyer didn't show up to the trial.
damn. So wait, you say he went from somebody that would do anything for you?
Oh yeah, my ex-husband was an alcoholic. So like him and I split up because of health, like because of his issues. Yeah, that was my ace right there. Like it was a really hard decision for me to divorce him, you know, but divorce changes people. Like he's somebody that would do anything for me. He gave me his check, I handled the bills, we were good. But when he realized, oh, she leaving me, he took everything out of our joint account. He took all my money out of my personal account. I came home from work, my furniture was gone. Everything I had before I met him. He came to me with a bag of clothes. I had all the furniture and everything. He took everything from me because I wanted to divorce him.
That attitude right there.
And guess what? Guess what?
That's petty, and that's immature.
So Chanel,
right?
Yeah,
so wait,
you took everything from me, and that was fine. But I was the one making all the money. Within 2 weeks, I was in another house. Within a month, I had all new furniture and everything. But he did that because he knew I had money. He knew he was trying to. The only thing that he thought that maybe would have hurt me because I was leaving him was I'm gonna get in her pocket. That's why he took that money from me and he took all the furniture. Like, what you gonna do? Like, where you gonna go back to your mama's house?
Chanel,
so you know,
Chanel, if he showed up to court, because the only way you was able to get out of paying alimony because he didn't show up, which we understand.
Not really. Hey, I was gonna contest that anyway because first of all, we was only married for 3 years.
Wait, fair. So,
and I agreed to that. I agreed to the amount because I was like, all right, I'll pay him that, but it was only for 4 years. Me and him was only together for 3 years. We didn't have no property. We didn't have no kids yet. We had just about to start getting a house built. I stopped it before it broke ground because that's when I filed. So if our divorce was good.
If y'all were together for 10 years and y'all lived in the state of Florida, would you say after all you dealt with him, would you say that it would be fair for you to have to pay him whatever amount y'all came up with for the rest of his life?
Oh, I don't know because I don't live in Florida. My divorce was in Illinois.
I'm just saying, Chanel, hypothetically speaking, because you don't pay alimony at all. Hypothetically speaking, if you had to pay that man the amount that y'all agreed on for the rest of his life, would you say that would be fair to you?
Well, no, that's why I said I understand what you guys said. Like, if a woman decides to just upchuck and leave a guy, why should he still have to fund her life? I understand that part. So no, I don't agree either to pay for somebody, but it's just because I know that I have friends across this country that's been through divorces. Some states you get alimony 5 years, or when the next time the person get married. Whenever they get married, the alimony ends. It's either one comes first. Some states 10 years. It ain't for the rest of your life everywhere. So it just depends. You know what I'm saying?
So you should be on our side on this. There shouldn't even be no buts. You should be on the because you almost got hit with the woo-wop. He almost got you for everything. For at least 4 years.